I'm very proud and honored tonight to present for induction into the Modesto High School Hall of Fame Milford Olson and Chuck Hughes. First of all, I'll do Chuck Hughes. It's fitting that these two go into the Hall of Fame tonight together, because together they are Downey High School. They had a genuine love and understanding of their students. And after talking to a lot of their students over the years, they owe a lot of their successes to these two gentlemen. Downey's motto is making a difference. Chuck Hughes and Milford Olson made a big difference. Chuck Hughes graduated from Modesto High School in 1941. He lettered in 4 sports and went on to Modesto Junior College, but his education at Modesto Junior College was limited because of World War II. He was drafted into the Army and spent 2 years in the Pacific. When he came back, he graduated from Modesto High School in Modesto Junior College in 1944. He lettered in 4 sports again. He was all-conference quarterback, and he was an all-conference forward on the basketball team. If you check the records, he was on the 1943 all-tournament team at the Christmas tournament we had every year at the JC. If you're old enough to remember, it was a very distinguished tournament. Most of the teams that won that tournament went on and won the state championship. After Modesto Junior College, he got a scholarship to San Jose State, where again he lettered in 4 sports. He was an all-conference quarterback on the football team at San Jose State, and he was an all-conference forward on their basketball team. He graduated from San Jose State in 1948 and took a job in Hanford, coaching basketball, football, and baseball, and teaching social science. He stayed at Hanford until 1951, when Milford Olson came looking for him. Milford at the time was recruiting the best in the fields of every education, sports, music, the arts. He was very proactive in making sure that Downey High School got off the floor. Chuck Hughes became the head football coach at Downey High School in 1956, and he stayed in that position until 1975, when he retired for the first time. He didn't actually retire totally from teaching. He hung around the high school, he taught classes, and he assisted the varsity football coach who had played for him, I think, about in the early 60s. He was pretty close to my age. He assisted the varsity football team, and he coached 3 freshman teams, and all 3 teams won their league championships. When the varsity coach accepted a job in Montana, it didn't take much to get Chuck to come back to coach again. And from 1978, when he returned as the head coach, he stayed at coaching until 1984, when he retired finally for the 2nd time. The Modesto Bee at that time said Downey's blue has never been bluer. He was the dean of high school coaches in this area. He won close to 200 games. He won 5 Central California Conference championships. He was coach of the year more than once. His 72 and 73 teams went 21-1 and were rated number 1 in Northern California. His teams were always prepared. He had a knack, as I've talked to other coaches, of calling the right play at the right time. And if you played a Coach Hughes team, you knew that you were going to get to see the screen pass about 3 or 4 times in that game. He didn't invent the screen pass, but he sure perfected it. In 2005, the Downey Alumni named in his honor the football field at Downey High School, and fortunate Chuck was there that night to see it. He had one team that he had a little bit of problems with. They weren't winning that much. He told me about it. At the time when they were having their problems, the team just didn't gel. And he was asked his opinion on the team and what was happening. And he said, well, we can't win at home. We can't win on the road. And as the coach, Frankly, I don't know where else to play. This is a must addition to Modesto High School's Hall of Fame. This is a legend, and tell you about a time when we had problems that didn't just ask his opinion on what happened. Well, we can't win them, and as the I don't know to play. This is a must addition to high school. This is a legend. 40. Chuck Hughes is in every Hall of Fame of every school he attended. This is his 6th Hall of Fame. I think that's a pretty remarkable record for an individual. And it's a real honor for me to present him tonight to the Modesto High School Hall of Fame. And to accept the award for him tonight is his son Stanford, his daughter Nancy Davis, and the love of his life, his lovely wife Dorothy.
Thank you very much. It's wonderful to come back to Modesto. I grew up here, also was a graduate of Thomas Downey High School and played football for my dad. So, and my mom and my sister are going to come up. But every time I come down to Modesto, I go up and every place we would go, everyone would know my dad. And then everyone that would know him would have a story about him. And I didn't even know these stories. In fact, I was at the table tonight with a couple of his former players, and they related story after story about his experience and the effect that he had on him. And he was just that kind of passion for life, love of games, hunting, fishing, environment, but most of all, sort of friends and living with friends. And growing up here, it's really fun to come back and see the Hogans and the Lees and have this family that's part of a community that's endured over all these years. So it's very special. And I'm just here in his spirit, kind of seeing him up there as the sort of masterful, strategic mind saying, how can I make a speech succinct and to the point and have fun? And so we're going to get on with it and just say thank you very much. That's a great honor to be here for this. I think also he's here in spirit with Deck and Lee by a green on the street saying, planning their next adventure and thinking of all the wonderful people he experienced here. So thank you.